This is The Happiness Blueprint, the podcast where we uncover how people build happier lives.
Awesome. Welcome back to the Happiness Blueprint podcast. Thanks for joining us, friends. I know we got our names before. Do you mind reminding me of your names?
Jordyn.
Jordyn.
And I'm Izzy.
Jordyn and Izzy. Awesome. Thank you. And y'all are from BC?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. So we're out here in Columbus together, braving it from the East Coast here, trying to pretend that it's warm in this room when it is the least warm it has ever been here. Help me understand your roles on BC as far as live events go. So what kind of events are you producing here? What are your roles in producing them?
Yes, of course. So, hi, everybody. I'm Izzy. I'm from Boston College. Go Eags. So we are here, and my role personally is live entertainment, which is such an incredible role and such a fulfilling role. We are the ones on campus that put on the live concerts. We do like a lot of like smaller events, such as like game nights, karaoke, Western nights. We're doing a tea party maybe soon. We'll see about that.
Love it.
But genuinely, we do a lot of events focused on live entertainment, so some sort of aspect in that.
Awesome. I think the key there, Jordyn, what was your role here as well?
My name is Jordyn. I am the vice president of marketing for Campus Activities Board.
Incredible.
Yes. So we just have a team of like maybe 15, 20 marketers, I'd say. 15, 20.
Awesome.
About 20, 22 to be exact, I think.
Here we
Awesome.
go.
And yeah, we kill shit.
That is always the goal here. Yes. I love it. I love the inclusivity of the events you mentioned here. So there is a wide spectrum of events. I think that's one of the big challenges here is like on college campuses, there are so many different people and there's so many different kinds of people and so many things that can divide us as people, which is a bummer at times. And that as an events program makes it so important to have events that appeal to all these different people on campus.
Yeah.
Has that been a challenge for you trying to find events that are like universally desirable on campus?
Yeah, of course. That's such a valid question and something that we do focus a lot on, just inclusivity itself. We really want to just make events that bring the student body together from all sorts of corners of BC. So something that our department really does pride ourselves on is we do a lot of collaborative events with different cultural groups on campus and different types of dance groups as well. We just had a hair show with one of our cultural organizations on campus, and it was incredible. And we are just able to provide them with support, and they're able to let us like be a part of that incredible experience itself. But for like larger scale events, we do try to focus in on that inclusivity aspect, on really reaching all the corners of BC itself.
Has that been a challenge for you in the past where there are so many different corners of BC? And I know like we do Showdown, which you mentioned the dance competition here as well. It's a beautiful place to showcase the inclusivity. And oftentimes when I'm working with Showdown and chatting with those dancers, they kind of mention the same thing of like campus can feel separated at times. It can be hard to find, I feel, a true unified home. Is that something that's been challenging for you as well?
Within the organization or within BC itself?
Within like just creating events and trying to make sure they are inclusive for everyone.
Yeah. I think sometimes it can be challenging at times because we have so many different ideas that we would like to execute. Some are a little bit more niche, I will admit, but we do, I feel like, have a good balance about like a little events that are a little more niche, but also events that that more people would like to see and be a part of.
And Jordyn, I'm assuming for the marketing, there's the same challenge here of like, we would love to connect with students. We want everyone to be aware of this and to be interested in this event. But how we market to student A might be different than student B.
Right.
How do you approach like selling these events in a way that is interesting, desirable, and or interesting to everyone and accessible to everyone?
Yeah. So one of the main ways I would say is like the school email, like making sure that they're fun, throwing jokes in there, like XOXO, like just being cute, being funny, like references, and just like, pushing the events out. And they all sell out very quick. They all sell out good. Engagements up. We're just doing what we gotta do. Funny videos too. They like videos. And like Izzy was saying, like collabs, like we just had Sway Lee pulled up like for Mod Stop, which was like good.
Incredible.
Everybody knew. Like it's a lot of white people at Boston College, but like it's Sway Lee, like, and it was amazing. So yeah.
He was incredible.
Izzy made that shit happen.
Oh, literally stop, Jordyn. No, Jordyn was such an incredible and such a valuable part of our team. She left us for the marketing department, but no tea, no shade. But no, genuinely, Jordyn does do a very good job at marketing. I feel like compared to other past years, like even before you, I think you have done a very good job at setting like, oh, like this is what's happening. This is what we're doing. You send those emails on time. They're very engaging. All the marketing, the videos you do too. And like, I just think you're doing a great job, girl. Just wanted to shout that out there, guys.
What makes the email so engaging? Like, what can other people learn from this that you've done so well? Or it sounds like, Izzy, you've been flattered by this, and Jordyn seems like it's intuitive to you. What makes these emails so compelling? How do we get people to the events?
I would say like just make sure it's like funny captions. I mean, a funny subject. Preview text is important. Utilize emojis, especially for mass send outs. Break up the text and like just make it cute, flashy. But like the videos are nothing. Like, I mean, the emails are nothing. You can make them like, wait, let me stop. But it's so cute. You direct sell out to the tickets or whatever it is. And yeah.
How do you balance like a professional email and a personal email where it seems like a challenging thing of as a campus, as a representative of the school, you want to be professional and you want to make sure you're coming across that way, but a dry, boring corporate email is not the way to get people to events. How do you kind of balance having your own personality in it, but also making sure that you're representing the body well?
I love that question so much. Like, so I also was the chief marketing officer for a company, BLK Capital Management, go BLK. And I was like making emails for them and like, but those is like promotional emails, or like some will be like to our sponsors, and like our sponsors are like banks and, you know, corporate firms. So the communication style is like a little different. But the one at Boston College, low key, it's like whatever mood I wake up in. Like, how are we feeling today? Like, it's been Valentine's Day, so I've been feeling spicy. Like, I'd be like XOXO, like keep blowing kisses, like, you know, it's the romance. Like, and then, you know, next month it's March, so it's giving. What's it giving?
St. Patty's.
Also,
Yeah.
Do we have a St. Patrick's event lined up? Is that in the pipeline here as well?
Yes, I do.
About it? Yeah, I don't know
Yes,
if
yes. It's
spoiling
one
a
of our
secret.
like traditions that we kind of do. So we usually collaborate with another department in Boston College, and we will sometimes bring in live bands. We'll just have like a bunch of different activities, St. Patty's Day theme. And I mean, of course, from Boston, the Irish pride, guys, the Irish pride, I'm going to say that. It's very, very important to us. And so we do try to integrate that in school itself. And just want to shout out, we do have an incredible Irish dance team on campus. They actually won last year at Showdown, I believe, and they were incredible. Or they got second place, either or. They were awesome. Loved that. But so we like to play on holidays for sure, for sure.
That is the goal here. I think the key to all these events is about building community, making people happy, right? I think that is, it's sometimes hard to know why are we doing this. And I'm sure as we're putting on events or as the marketing maybe isn't going well or something, these moments of adversity can be tough to like look inside and go, why am I doing it? Why am I putting in all this effort into something that may or may not manifest as well as I hope it will? And I think, the community and the happiness is the goal there. Are those things that you keep in mind as you're trying to put on events here, is trying to build the community on campus? And why is that community so valuable to be building on campus?
You want to answer, Dory?
Yeah, I would definitely say like that's definitely one of the main priorities is community building, making sure that we can fully integrate all different demographics of like campus. Because like, you know, as a Black trans, you know, woman, and on top of that, like, you know, being from like a low income area, like there is a difference in like upbringing. There's a difference in the, I would say, like view of like worldview. Like it's so funny, like people like just like it's just funny, like some people like not care, but like our brains are literally wired differently. And it's so fun to like see how everybody's brain is wired. Like, does that sound crazy?
No.
See how everybody's brain is wired and just like love all, cater to all, and it usually just, it works out. Just be positive. Manifestation is real. Everything you say, subconscious mind is always listening.
There we go. Yeah.
I love it. Yes. And you're right. I think to translate, I guess, to paraphrase that in my own words here, is like, we do have to set out ambitious goals to reach them, right? It's subconscious manifestation that you mentioned here. It's like, we do have to set goals for lofty events to make them happen. If we just try to do something middle of the road, we're going to get middle of the road. Like, we have to be brave enough to take a chance here. Is that tough for y'all as you're planning out events, planning out the next step here? It's tough to be brave and kind of take a chance on an event that's like, this is new to Boston College, and I think it's awesome to me, but is it awesome to the whole campus? Is it awesome just to me and my friends? How do you kind of navigate that bravery that it's required to put on events?
Yeah. I think pioneering an event is something very special to be a part of. And I actually had the privilege last year of pioneering an event at our school that we hadn't had in a long time.
Oh my gosh,
I will tell you all about it.
It doesn't exist. You created that
thank
shit.
you. Thank you, Jordyn. Thank you. So I'm actually from Texas, y'all. Hook 'em horns. I love you T guys for the football reasons. Anyway, so Western culture itself is, and Southern culture particularly, is a very important part of my life. And I really like country music too, controversial as it may seem. But so I wanted to integrate that into BC life itself because, you know, I don't really see a lot of like cowboys or anything like that, or like any sort of like Western-y vibe. There we go. And so I was able to put together an event with the help of my incredible team that we had a Western night line dancing night. And it was absolutely fantastic. We had a live band come in, and they were able to work with a line dancer instructor herself, and it was sold out. We had 200 plus attendees to this event, and this is just like a normal small event that we usually did, so it's honestly incredible. And I think just taking the risks. Sometimes taking the risks, I know there's a saying, it's kind of cheesy, but it's like you shoot for the moon, you land them on the stars. I think that is very, very true. Just take that risk, y'all. Take that risk.
This episode of the Happiness Blueprint podcast is brought to you by VibeArcs. Goals, budgets, and KPIs can tell you what happened, but they don't tell you how people felt while doing the work. Happiness is the most important metric of all, and it needs a system. VibeArcs is that system for prioritizing your mental health and tracking emotional metrics for individuals, teams, and even projects. Users submit a weekly 2-minute check-in online or in the app for metrics like happiness, stress, and utilization. Then, VibeArcs processes that data into quantified metrics that help spot patterns, celebrate wins, and encourage support where needed. Personally, I loved using VibeArcs with my team at GBM6. It felt like such a great way to check in with myself and make sure I'm hitting both my professional and my personal goals. I especially love that it asks me for 3 things that I'm happy about every week. During busy season, I find that things can feel a little chaotic and stressful, so this has felt like a really great tool to reframe my focus and make sure I'm aware of how many great things are happening around me, even in the most stressful moments. VibeArcs is free forever for individuals, .edu teams, and .org teams. All other organizations can start with a 60-day free trial and then pay just $5 per user per month to build a healthier, happier, and more engaged workplace. Check out the link in our description to get started on your own journey towards a happier personal and professional life. Thank you to VibeArcs for sponsoring today's episode. All right, back to the show. I think there's also a nobility in that, where I think so much of college is about figuring out who we want to be and who we want to become. And so much of it is we come from high school, come from families, we come from towns, we come from whatever the circumstances that dictated who we thought we should be, right? As we come to college, we get to explore like what actually makes me happy. What do I actually want to be? And I think this is where something like a line dancing, square dancing, I apologize. A Southern dance event can be so powerful. It's like someone from Boston who's grown up Irish dancing, they've grown up doing dance, may never have thought of that. Or I just had someone on here who was a football player who decided they wanted to explore plays. And it's like, that's not what most football players do. But he said, this makes me happy. I'm going to do it. And I think that's where college is such a powerful opportunity to explore so many things that make us happy here. Is that something you keep in mind as you're putting on events here? Is that like as a way to open horizons and give people an opportunity to figure out more of who they want to become?
I think, 100%. College is a time for growth. It's a time for exploration. And I really think that the events that we do put on, like, they are unique experiences that you go. And we also, like, besides my department, LE, we do have a lot of different excursion events. We have like a ski trip that we put on every year. We do like paintball, things like that. So if you ever want to try, and we have a clay room coming up, so we're doing pottery painting. So honestly, like, puppy yoga too. Sorry, that's like a bunch of things coming into mind right now.
Puppy yoga is incredible.
Honestly, it was so salsa dancing. We have that too.
Six Flags. They're all in great haunted mansion.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah, but I think we do try to put events that are a little bit more unique, and some that like we want people to have an experience about it. Yeah, and I think that's really important and something that we really do like. Use our foundation when creating events.
And Jordyn, when these events then roll across your desk, what motivates you to want to market them? Like, is it just a game to see like how many people can I get here? Is there an internal drive of like, you think it's valuable to give people these opportunities? Or, like, what motivates the marketing? Why are you so inclined and interested in helping these events succeed?
Yeah, that's actually such a great question. I would say that is something that I would say my biggest motivator is probably like actually, I low-key don't know. I low-key need a motivator.
That is okay, yeah.
I be trying to be my own motivator, but like some days, like I don't even want to get out of bed, but it don't matter but you got the email that needs to get out on Monday, and you need to make sure you got your flyers, and But I say my biggest motivator is like, we have money, we have resources, like making sure that the organizations on campus like can access that, even if it has to be through our pipeline. Like, that's what it needs to be. Like, and we just, have fun, love all, do fun stuff. I say like, I'd always be writing like stuff in the email. Like if it's like too inappropriate, like they'll just tell me like, okay, maybe take that out. Like, and it's okay. I'll just tweak it a little bit, but like, I'll just live YOLO. You only live once. And Yeah.
I think you touched on a really important part there, is that not every day is our best day. Whether we're putting on events,
Yeah.
we're selling the events, for me, making a recap video of the event. Like,
Oh my.
oftentimes I show up going, I'm excited for this. I can't wait to do this. Sometimes I have a cold. Sometimes I got bad news the day before. Sometimes whatever is happening in life. What motivates y'all to keep on pursuing this? As you're designing an event and you hit some adversity, as you're selling an event, it's not selling well. What motivates y'all to keep on pushing through and trying to make these events as great as possible?
Yeah. I always view any sort of challenge or any sort of roadblock more as a redirection. If something's not working, if we didn't get approval for a certain item or a certain like factor of an event that we really wanted, that was kind of essential to it, we just redirect and we try to make the best out of our situation. And honestly, it's all about experience. You learn, you live and you learn. And I really do think that that is such a valuable thing, not just inside of clubs itself, but in life itself. Sometimes you're not going to get to the angle that you really did think you were going to get to, and sometimes you're going to be redirected to an even better path. So
It's funny, you hear live and learn as a kid and you go, no, I know everything already.
exactly.
You have to get older and go, wait.
It's like, wait, actually, yeah.
I guess. Jordyn, what about for you? What kind of motivates you as you hit some of these adverse moments, as you wake up not feeling your best that day, as you mentioned? What motivates you to get out of bed and keep your emails rolling out?
Definitely for me, it's like at the end of the day, like no matter what happens, I still gotta get my bag. Still gotta make sure my little brothers are okay. So I make sure my mom's good. Like, so, you know, just balancing what I do and like, you know, stacking my bread, making my money.
There you go. Yeah.
And doing the little, you know, marketing stuff on the side. But like, I'm not really interested in marketing. Like, it's just something like I do. I'm interested in community building. I'm interested in spreading love, doing new stuff, building brands. Yeah.
Community building is marketing. Like those two events do overlap of, trying to get people to the events. Like the event is great, but if there's not a whole lot of people there, then it could be less great. And so having the marketing team, having this, beautiful synthesis there is so powerful. Beautiful. Two last questions I'd like to wrap up on here. One, we do live and we learn. And so one thing I've thought about as this is my 10th-ish year of doing camera stuff, as I look back and go, man, if I knew this when I was 6 months in, it would have saved me so much time and stress. What are things you look back and go, like, what's advice you would give your past self? As you look at events, as you look at making people happy, building community, what's some wisdom that you would give your past self?
Give my past self, yeah.
You want to go first, Jordyn? Yes. Wisdom, do you want to drop on us?
Do you have any?
Jordyn, you're
Like
oozing
2
wisdom.
seconds, girl. You got that.
I can feel wisdom oozing out of you.
Yeah, there you go.
I would say, like, I would tell myself, well, this one's like, it's not tied to community building, but I would say, like, wait, I'm not going to air this out online. I would say just always stay positive, because, like, the second you lose yourself, like, you know, and when I say lose yourself, like, you know, just you wake up and you're like, I don't want to be here today. Like, you know, just get out of the bed, look cute, do what you got to do, put that face on. It's okay, girl. It's going to be okay. Like,
There you go.
yeah. Wait, what was the question I had, Loki?
Advice for your past self. So yes, absolutely.
You're such a great interviewer. Can I ask you a question as well?
Please, yes.
Yeah. Well, after Izzy,
Jordyn, thank you for sharing a little vulnerable moment with us. I think that's something that a lot of people wouldn't admit up front and even on camera itself. But no, I think that's so important. And along the lines of, like, you know, sometimes you don't feel like your best, but you still have to keep moving forward. I think that learning, like, that rejection itself is okay. And the worst that somebody can say is no. So I would just always ask that question, always keep wondering, always keep chasing that dream, because you might face roadblocks. It's just redirection, and you're going to end up where you're supposed to be. And I really am a true believer in that.
I like that. Yeah, that redirection mindset. Well, at some point this spring, I'll hit a tough day and be like, I'm redirected. I'm going towards where I need to go.
Exactly.
And that road that I thought I needed wasn't actually the one. Turns out there's another road here. Beautiful. I have one last question for y'all, but Jordyn, you said you had something for me, and I'm happy to be on both sides of this.
I would say, what has been the most inspiring or most monumental moment that you've had so far at GMB Sit?
Wow.
Is it GB?
GB, yeah.
GBM Sit.
There we go.
Okay. That's a very powerful one. I think a lot of times we talk a lot about how we think that every night has the opportunity to be the best night of someone's life. And that's a lofty goal. And I understand that, like, when we put on an event and when there's showdown and 5,000 people come, like, 5,000 people saw the best night of their life, right? Hopefully 4,800 of them had a really good time and 200 of them maybe didn't love it, but that's okay, right? That margin will always exist here. There are moments where we hear someone walking away going, that was the best night of my life. Or we were just at Dartmouth for an event and there was a little, 4 or 5 year old person who one of our teammates heard turn to their mom and go, thanks for bringing me, Mom. This was the best night of my life. And it's like, that's powerful. Like, that isn't, not everyone's gonna have that experience. We hope everyone does. That's always the goal here. And it's maybe not a realistic level expectation is set for ourselves, and we're pretty disappointed if we hope that the bar is that high for everyone. But hearing that happiness brought to people is really empowering, and I think really validates all the work that we do to put into this. And so I think we hear that from some people won't hear it from, but if 10 people say it, then probably 20 people felt it, or whatever that number is. And so I think that idea is a really motivating, powerful one for me here. I guess on that same note here, the last question we'd like to wrap up on here is what's something that makes you happy? So it can be outside of events, it can be outside of concerts, music, live production, marketing, all these different things that we just talked about already. Is there a happy place? Is there a hobby, a food, an art that you like to produce? Yeah, what's something that makes you happy outside of this?
Something that really makes me happy, and it's kind of the reason why I'm in live entertainment, is music itself.
Yeah.
I grew up playing violin, so I played for 8 years. I did a lot of performing, did a lot of singing, and that's just something that has always brought me so much joy, because I do think that music does have the power to bring people together and really touch everybody all around them.
It's a powerful way. Yeah, I think there's a reason it's been around since the dawn of time.
Yes,
Since cavemen were playing with rocks and stones and whatever. There is something very valuable about being able to tune out from whatever circumstance we are in and just go on this trip with this journey with the music. And I think I'm the same way, where this to me started as a music venture and has become so much more than that. But I agree with you that there's a lot of power there. Jordyn, what about you? What makes you happy?
I would say what makes me happy is definitely just life in general. I'd say I'm so thankful to be here on this earth. Some days, maybe not tomorrow, yes, because I'm going to manifest it in.
There we
Readable.
go,
A day
there we
after, yes. The day after, yes.
Yep.
The day after, yes, and repeating.
We're in a big streak of yeses coming on.
That's yes. But I'd say money.
There we go.
Just being just loving people. And I forgot what the question was, low-key.
Things that make you happy.
Oh, that make me happy. Oh my God, I love Call of Duty.
There we
Yeah.
go. Yeah.
Okay,
I'm about to start streaming.
awesome.
Call of Duty, I love that. And food makes me so happy.
Awesome. I think
Game.
video games are a similar thing to music, where they're just a perfect escape to get into. And I think we all need these escapes at
Do you
times.
play video games?
I played them a lot more growing up than I do now. I would love to play them now, but anything I do too much of. So I have trouble with playing a little video games. I
And
either
then breaking away from
spend
it.
my whole life doing it, or I have to withstand.
Do you have an addictive personality, would you say?
I think I have a very determined personality.
There we go. Yeah.
So I think if I like doing something, I'm just going to keep doing it, which is where the camera thing came from here. Is it started taking photos and went, wow, I love doing this. And then it became a business and a life ultimately, which is beautiful and awesome, but certainly I have to be very careful with that determinative energy.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you all so much for taking the time to come chat here. This is the Happiness Blueprint.
There we go. Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Peter.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to The Happiness Blueprint. Powered by GBM6. It's about making people happy.